Hello, my name is Shannon Cardwell. I'm a psychotherapist, and welcome to my presentation on staying calm and carrying on, managing our thoughts and feelings as parents. My professional background is that I've been a therapist for 30 plus years, and I originally started in my career working with children and families in the foster care and social service system. On the personal side, I am also the parent who has successfully, I think, raised 2 children into their early 20s. By the end of today's presentation, I am hoping that you're going to have a greater understanding that being a parent can be one of the most joyous experiences as well as one of the hardest. I'm hoping that you're going to have greater awareness that there is no shame in having certain thoughts about how hard it is to be a parent, that you will also have acceptance of who you are as a parent, and that you will leave with a set of tools that will help you deal with the thoughts and feelings that you might have when you are parenting. So to start with, usually when we become a parent, we hear the words, "Congratulations, it's a..." And so the big question then to ask is, what is the ultimate point and purpose of parenting? I believe that the ultimate goal of parenting is to raise a self-sufficient child who can survive without you. So yes, the whole point is if we do this job correctly, they will leave. There is no information, though, that is usually given to us, even in these times of Google and self-help books and all kinds of information that you can find. There really is no instruction manual that comes with how to be a parent. And not only that, but you get plenty of unsolicited and free advice. More effort is put into teaching people how to drive a car than there is to raising a human. So how do we support parents and caretakers with both the good and sometimes not so good thoughts and feelings that they might experience? First, we take a look at what are some of the stressors that parents and caregivers might experience. First, we can start by looking at what are the ages and stages of the child themselves. You have stress while you're pregnant, when you're expecting your first child. There are other stressors and changes that happen at the birth, all the way up to age 1, and then up until they're a toddler, and then again as they start preschool, and so on. Then there are life transitions. These could include the pregnancy themselves, a newborn, new sibling, a new job, new home. And then there are other stressors that might come into your life. This could be a trauma, a significant, difficult event. It could be the loss, whether it be a job or someone close to you. It could be financial hardship. It could be a lifestyle change. If you're in the military or a first responder, it could be the demands that that role places on you and your family. It could be remarriage or divorce, co-parenting issues. And then, as we all know, in these last couple of years, there is the social, political, and world events that also can weigh on our families. So what are some of the thoughts and feelings that we might experience when we're parenting? Well, in the beginning, you're kind of told that, hey, once that child is put into your arms, that you're going to feel nothing but love and joy and complete attachment. And oftentimes, yes, that is indeed the case. But sometimes there can be mixed feelings. There might even be some fear. It is possible to be scared when you're going through this new event, even at the same time that you're so happy. And then we have some of those thoughts and feelings that might happen as the baby grows up, or you go through difficult stages such as a baby that's not sleeping through the night, or is a fussy eater, or might have some health issues. You might experience feelings that are unexpected, such as loving this little human with all of your heart, but you might also have some feelings of resentment, maybe even anger, maybe even jealousy. These are all normal, very normal feelings. On top of that, sometimes it can feel very alone to be a new parent, or even later. Even as you're parenting a teen, you might experience feelings of being very alone and not knowing if anyone else really understands how you're feeling. Another thing is that you might feel that you're being compared to other parents or families that you know. This is incredibly significant these days in the world of social media, when we see other people putting their entire lives out there on various social media platforms, and you look at how other people are living their lives and you wonder if, well, how come my life doesn't look like that? The truth, of course, is that people tend to only put the best parts of themselves out for public consumption, but the truth might be different behind their closed doors as well. So one of the best ways to combat all of these different thoughts and feelings and all these different mixed messages that you might receive from the public and well-meaning friends and family is to learn how to be calm. Learning to stay calm and be grounded is a very, very important skill, and one that can really serve you well as a parent, whether you're a new parent or a parent of children even in their 20s. One of the ways to really focus on staying calm is to take responsibility for your thoughts and feelings, but to not shame or judge yourself. Your thoughts and feelings are very normal, and probably you are not the first person to have those thoughts and feelings. Many others have them as well. And remember, it is not the feelings that are bad, it's what you do with them, which of course is what we try to teach our children as well. So check in with yourself. Ask yourself, how would others see me at this moment in time? I call this a reality check. Do you act different inside your home than outside of your home? Do people have an image of who you are as a parent or as a family, but if they actually came inside your home, it might be a different experience? Pretend you're on a reality TV show. Pause for a moment, think of the shows that you have seen on TV. What would the world see if you had a candid camera in your own home? I have actually even said that to some of my clients. If someone had a TV camera rolling in my home sometimes, I'm sure not all of my parenting moments would be my proudest moments, and I do this for a living. Can you imagine how your child might see you? Through their eyes, how would they see you? And maybe someday if they wrote a memoir about themselves or about their family, how would they write about you? These can be sobering things to consider about how other people see us. There are a number of skills that can be very helpful in trying to manage the thoughts and feelings that you might experience. And while again there are wonderful, wonderful thoughts and feelings that we have, and the joy of parenting can be unlimitless, there can also be moments where we're going to feel frazzled or at the end of our rope or hitting a wall. And so it's a really important skill to learn how to keep your cool. One of my favorite techniques is what I call taking a chill out. So we probably all have heard of a timeout, and a timeout tends to be a more negative, punitive, disciplinary consequence to a child. But a chill out is one that I think is important to learn. It is a positive, it is a good skill to have. It really means taking a moment, taking a beat, and stepping away before things go in a direction that no one's going to like. A chill out is learning how to keep your cool and take a step back. And that can be as simple as walking out of the room, putting the child in the other room, and just taking a moment to breathe and recollect. There are a number of other techniques that are also very helpful. Another one is called the 4x4x4 breathing technique. This one is very helpful. It's really one of the deep breathing exercises. You've probably heard of them before. If you want to follow along with me, to sit up straight, put your hands palms up in your lap, or you can take one of your hands and put it on your diaphragm underneath your chest, like right above your belly button. And you put your hand there, and you count to 4 for each step. So the first is to breathe in, and I always like to teach the little ones I'm working with that you are sniffing the flower. And so you take a deep breath in through your nose, smell the flower, hold it to a count of 4, and then blow out through your mouth. And that's like blowing out the candle on the cake. And you do that to a count of 4. And then you pause again to a count of 4. So you would take a deep breath in through your nose. I will do it with you. And then hold it to a count of 4, 2, 3, 4. And then blow out through the mouth. And pause. And if you feel your diaphragm just under your rib cage should be rising and falling. One of the really cute things to do is when you see your baby sleeping, is you see that their tummies really rise when they're breathing, and that's because they haven't learned to only breathe through their chest. As we get older and we get more tense, we tend to breathe only through our chest and only expand up here. But children are still so uninhibited that they know to still breathe through their diaphragm. So that's a good practice. Another exercise is what I call muscle relaxation. And this you can do anywhere, and you can even do it when you're sitting at your desk, when you're sitting in the car, and no one really needs to know that you're doing it. But you could start at your feet, you can start at the top of your head. The basics, though, is that each muscle group, you tense, you tighten it, and you hold to a count of 4, and then you relax it. And you just slowly work your way up or down your body with your muscle groups, holding, tightening, holding it, and then letting that go. And that can be a really helpful way for your body to kind of calm down and get centered and grounded. Going along with that is what we call visualization. And that is the process in which you kind of imagine that you are in a different place. You can close your eyes. Some people prefer to be on a warm, sandy beach. Some like to be outside in their forest preserve or park and hear the trees. And it can be really helpful to use all 5 of your senses and to think about, okay, where am I? Am I on a beach? Am I in the forest? What do I hear? What do I see? What do I smell? What do I touch? And what do I taste? And those are the 5 senses. And just walking through each of those, it can really help self-regulate your system. And on a more practical side, paying attention to how you're thinking, not just how you're feeling, but how you're thinking. What are the things that you are saying to yourself? It's really important to pay attention to whether your thoughts are more negative, such as complaining or venting, or are your thoughts more positive, optimistic, encouraging? And so I like to do thought chasing. So for every negative thought that you might have, you want to chase that down with a positive one. So if your child is frustrating you in that moment, think about what can you appreciate about that little human that you're raising? What is going right and well in that moment? And not just getting stuck on some of the negative things. And then, of course, being present in the moment, appreciating who it is you're with in that moment and enjoying their company and not getting caught up with maybe something that's not going well in that moment. So carrying on, some practical exercises to kind of help smooth out your parenting or caretaking. These are some wonderful techniques and activities that I often teach my clients and families that I work with. One of them is to view your family as a business. This may sound strange, but if you think about your family as a business, you can identify what each person's role is in the family. But with any good business, you want to have a mission statement, and you also want to have a set of values and beliefs. Your mission statement is very important. It identifies this is who we are as a family, this is our goal as a family, and then you make a list of your values and beliefs, how you want to live as a family, what's important to you. I've had a number of families who actually put these on that blackboard paint, and they put it on a board, or they put it on in a frame, and they put it on the wall in the kitchen or in the hall or in the family room. And it can be a really nice tool, because every time you have to make a decision about what's happening in the family, you can screen it. Does this match our family values? Does this match our beliefs as a family? Another tool that can be helpful is what I call the timeshare pie. The timeshare pie is simply a circle. You can use a plate, you can draw an outline on a piece of paper, and then you can slice it up into the things that take up time during your day. Don't leave anything out. I bet that most of you will find that you are exceeding 24 hours in a day. And so that's something to really be aware of and to take a look at, a deeper, closer look at these are all the things that are taking my attention. These are all the things that are stressing me out. These are all the things we're trying to get done, and maybe is getting in the way of some of my joy and simple appreciation of being a parent in the moment. Another tool that can be helpful, a skill really, is to pay attention to your routines. Make sure that you are consistent with your children, that you have a reasonable schedule, that your kids have a reasonable expectation of what they can expect during the day, what time certain things happen, what time they're supposed to do certain things, and having that consistency can really help regulate and create a sense of calm for not only the children, but for you as well. And finally, it's very, very important to realize that it's okay to ask for help. No one can do this by themselves, nor should they be doing it by themselves. It really does take a village. It is absolutely okay to say, hey, I need a little help, or I need a break. That's okay too. And if even in your social circle, your family circle, if that's not quite meeting your needs, don't hesitate to reach out for professional or expert assistance if you need that as well. So finally, I will leave you with this thought. Be gentle with yourself so you may be gentle towards others. And really that speaks to, as you feel calmer, as you feel more grounded and centered, you will be able to be more grounded and centered in your interactions with your children. So now that you have sat through this presentation with me, and I really appreciate that you've taken the time to do so, I think it's really, really important for me to emphasize that even though I've been giving you these tips and ideas and suggestions, please remember what I said at the beginning of this presentation. No matter what it is that you're trying to do or be as a parent, there is no right or wrong. You are doing the best that you can, and sometimes at the end of the day, that's what really matters. So, it doesn't matter to me if you don't practice any of these techniques or any of these tips that I've given you. It's really about trust yourself, trust your instincts. Use the village around you, use the support systems that you have, and really trust yourself and be there for yourself, and then you can be there for your child.